Welcome to This Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled to guide you through today's topic because, honestly, it's fascinating. We're talking about the vibe. You know what I mean, right? That magnetic pull certain people just seem to have completely effortlessly. Well, what if I told you that being highly disciplined isn't just about, crossing things off a boring to-do list? What if it actually alters your biology to make you physically more attractive? Today, we're looking directly at the hard science, the real data that connects your daily habits with just how irresistible you appear to others. Okay, let's dive right into this. It's a question that sounds almost, philosophical at first glance. Why exactly is discipline attractive? We usually think of discipline as this invisible, strictly internal mental trait, right? Something you do all by yourself in the dark, like waking up at 5 a.m., sticking to a strict diet, or just grinding through a really difficult task. But how on earth does this silent internal grind translate into a magnetic physical pull? A pull that other people can actually see, sense, and physically feel the moment you walk into a room. Section 1, the biology of the vibe. To really answer why discipline is so attractive, we've got to understand the underlying biology. We so often chalk up a good vibe to magic or a sixth sense or some mysterious aura that you either miraculously have or you just don't. But the data shows us a completely different story. Attractiveness is deeply rooted in our biological hardware. In fact, there's a massive paradigm shift in the research we're looking at today. True discipline is not just raw willpower. It's not about white-knuckling it or forcing yourself to do things you hate. According to neuroscientific data, true discipline is actually defined as nervous system regulation. Just think about that for a second. True discipline is the active, conscious regulation of your internal state. It's how well you manage your body's stress responses, how you keep yourself totally centered when the pressure's on, and how effectively you calm the chaos inside. And honestly, here is where the science gets absolutely mind-blowing. Other people can physically feel the state of your nervous system. Literally. Your internal regulation, or, your lack of it, isn't a private affair at all. It acts as an invisible, continuous broadcast. Everyone around you is biologically wired with these built-in antennas designed specifically to pick up on the signals your nervous system is sending out. You might not even say a single word, but your biology is basically screaming your level of discipline to everyone in the vicinity. It's exactly why you can walk past a total stranger and instantly feel on edge, or sit next to a colleague and inexplicably feel just deeply at peace. Section 2. How brains sync up. So how exactly does this invisible broadcast work? How are people picking up on your internal regulation? Well, the first biological mechanism is mirror neurons. Our brains quite literally mirror the activity of the people surrounding us. When you observe someone, certain neurons in your brain actually fire as if you were experiencing exactly what they are experiencing. It's like a biological copy-paste. And this physical fact perfectly explains that famous social concept, the one, that you are the average of the 5 people closest to you. If you hang around highly disciplined, regulated individuals, your mirror neurons are physically recreating that calm, structured state right inside your own brain. And this brilliantly illustrates the second mechanism, brainwave synchronization. The science shows that simply by communicating with someone, our literal brainwaves begin to match and sync up in real time. It's happening constantly. Even right now, as I'm explaining this material to you, our brainwaves are syncing up. If your brain is operating in a highly disciplined, regulated rhythm, the person you're talking to is physically going to fall into that exact same rhythm. You basically become a biological metronome for the people around you, setting the steady, comforting pace that their bodies just naturally want to match. Now, what's really interesting here is the third mechanism, which acts almost like a biological superpower we didn't even realize we had. The source data points to chemosignals. These are actual chemical signals that leak through the air, especially, and this is key, especially when you're stressed out. Studies have found that stress literally leaves a physical chemical residue behind. People can actually physically feel those chemical signals that you leave in a room. I mean, have you ever walked into an office right after a huge argument just happened? That heaviness in the air? Yeah, that isn't a metaphor. If your nervous system is dysregulated and stressed, you are quite literally polluting the air with chemosignals of anxiety, and others will involuntarily absorb that tension. Section 3. The trust equation. Now that we deeply understand the hardware, the mirror neurons, the brainwave synchronization, the chemosignals, let's look at what this actually creates in our daily human interactions. On one side, we have a lack of discipline. According to the data, this equates to nervous system dysregulation and an inherent lack of self-trust. And frankly, it is deeply unattractive because thanks to those mechanisms we just covered, people can literally feel your dysregulation. They mirror your chaos. On the flip side, we have discipline. This broadcast is being highly confident and very certain in yourself. And that certainty, it creates a massive magnetic pull. People are just naturally drawn to it because regulated nervous system signals safety, predictability, and strength to absolutely everyone around it. So the crucial point is perfectly captured in this quote from the source. You walk in and you just know you can trust them. Have you ever experienced that? You meet someone and instantly, without a single word being spoken, you just feel totally secure. That undeniable feeling of instant trust isn't magic. It's the direct biological result of sensing a highly disciplined, completely regulated nervous system. Their calm state has synced with your brain, their mirror neurons have put you at ease, and their absolute lack of stress chemosignals tells your body, hey, this person is safe, this person is highly capable. Which brings us to the end of our explainer. But I want to leave you with a highly provocative thought to carry with you today. What signals is your nervous system broadcasting right now? Seriously, think about it deeply. Your discipline, your ability to regulate your internal state, is constantly speaking for you. It's literally shaping how attractive you are, how trustworthy you seem, and how others biologically feel when they're simply standing near you. So take a moment today to consider what your own invisible biological broadcast is telling the world. Thank you so much for learning with me today, and I'll catch you on the next one.